Today is Monday, July 3rd, 2017. Tomorrow is the 4th of July, and this is the Service Monster Show. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about disaster recovery. Service Monster releases 3.5.6 and is available now in the Android and iOS Play Store, and we're also releasing Service Monster 6.0.122, due out today. This week in social media. Tomorrow, Service Monster will be closed July 4th in honor of the 4th of July. The support staff won't be here. If you send an email, I know someone's going to be checking on in case there's a serious disaster, but for the most part, we will be unavailable. Of course, you can always hit me up on social media. I'm sure I'll be there. We have 4 new webinars this month planned, one for Service Monster 6 drip campaigns, one for Service Monster 6 account deep dive, one Service Monster 6 marketplace highlight, and one Service Monster 5 to 6 transition. Go look for them on the link below to our blog. Facebook's going to start focusing a little more heavily on ad metrics. They're already pretty good, but now they're committing to release a new set of metrics every single month for the next few months, trying to basically let us know exactly what's going on in an effort of transparency, which I think is pretty cool. This week in Service Monster. So kind of the way my mind works, 4th of July coming up, of course, fireworks, and we're in the disaster recovery space, so sometimes that causes fires and gets you guys' job. And so why not talk about disaster recovery today? We've had a couple brownouts and actually a powder outage last month or so, and that got us to double checking our systems to making sure that we have disaster recovery plans across the board. Service Monster, of course, our data is hosted with AWS, Amazon Web Services, and our data there is backed up on a regular basis, and even an offsite backup is done regularly, more frequently than every 24 hours, in order to ensure that should a nuclear explosion happen in the AWS facility that we're in, we can still bring up the data. Hopefully nothing that bad ever happens, but being ready for it, the extreme cases is a big deal, especially when we're dealing with business data of thousands of service companies. Also internally, most of our stuff happens on the cloud, obviously, but we do have some test environments and support environments. A lot of our files can live inside here in our intranet. We only have a couple servers internally, but when there's problems, there's certainly network disruption. Our telephony lines are SIP trunk, so they're coming in via fiber, which is nice. We can do a lot of simultaneous calls and route calls all over the place. That gives us the ability to have some extra laptops sitting around that are charged, and we have a UPS on our little mini rack. So should the power go down, you got a couple hours worth of battery life there, laptops to be able to answer some calls, and we'll be about 4 or 5 hours before we're able to not use that system anymore. But even then, remotely, I can have agents go out to their home, and as long as they still have power, they're going to be able to turn on their ability to accept phone calls, which is neat. Our source code, of course, is all stored in the cloud in various locations, and they have backups within backups, and then we do backups regularly internally as well. So coming from the tech space, we're very in tune with disaster recovery. We're dialed in to make sure that we're not going to lose your data or any efficiency or work in our time. Worst case scenario, you lose a day. That's if an engineer didn't check in all day long and his computer blew up, but that's so infrequent that doesn't really warrant an actual recovery. Plus, in 8 hours on one employee is far better than losing a week's worth from the entire team. Service Monster updates. So right now available Service Monster Mobile 3.5.6 from both the Android and iOS stores. Please go download that and take a look. We've cleared up a handful of issues as well as introduced a couple more feature sets allowing technicians to edit jobs on the field. So now the security roles should match between Mobile 2 and Mobile 3. That'll give your techs the ability to modify those orders when they're out on the field. Assuming the 6.0.122 release goes well today, that will give you an amazing amount of fixes and features that they've been working really hard on over the last month. I'm hoping that goes well. Feedback immediately on Smug if you see anything that's a little weird, and we'll react to it as quickly as possible. From everyone, the team here, thank you so much for paying attention. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go check out the demo and give us a call.